man. All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We the brothers of the great Millstone branch that represent the church out of Cleveland, Ohio. Before we get started, we're going to give all praise, honor, and infinite worship and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the elders, the elder bishops, slash elder apostles of the great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the Akim that scattered abroad, the folk of the earth that preached this truth with all truth and with all sincerity, and most importantly, always maturity, man. And it's just a pre-camp lesson to get the spirit hot once again before camp, man. We're going to go back to the basics, man. We're going to get straight to the point. It ain't going to be long at all. The Lord bless us to edify the sheep and the lambs of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. So without the brother go tell you the title of the book, the page, and get into these scriptures.
All right, this is the book From Babylon to Timbuktu. You can see it. Brother's pretty familiar with it. All right, and I'm on page 84, and I'm on the second paragraph. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
Now you gotta chew the meat and spit the bones out, man. We know the term Jewish comes from those Jewish people, man. The small hats, man. But according to the scriptures and prophecy and artifacts, we know to be Edomites, man. Amalek, man, the grandson of Esau, man, the top tribe, man. They put us into captivity and took our nationality, man, because they trying to get the birthright back. Under John Hyrcanus, we converted them and they started to follow our ways and our customs, man, back in the day. And ever since then, they took our heritage. But the point is, it says, read it one more time, that last part, flee until.
Yeah, it says it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
And that's Bible prophecy, man. That's red letter according to the scriptures. Get that in Luke. Because our big brother, who this world really calls Jesus Christ, man, but his real name is Yahweh Shai Hamashiach in the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. What color are the letters?
Red.
So anytime it's in red letter, that's Yahweh Shai talking, man.
All right, this is Luke chapter 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Right, and that's what Yahweh Shai was talking about. Those armies were Roman troops. All right, meaning when this was the desolation of the time of the apostles and prophets that was on the scene when Yahweh Shai was living. You know,
this was the southern kingdom,
right? And you had mainly majority of southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, in that captivity under the Romans.
And today's terms, Judah would be the so-called Negroes, Benjamin would be the so-called West Indies, and Levi would be the Haitians.
It says, verse 21, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
That's the point. What I ain't gonna say that's the point, but because the tribes that was in Jerusalem was only those three tribes. Well, it was a mixture of the other tribes too, but it was majority and mainly those three tribes because the other tribes was already took into captivity in Syrian captivity, man.
Yeah, they was already on this side of the world. You know, Gad and them was already over here in Americas. Um, it says, verse 21, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
And this is what we just read, man. It said in 70 AD. That's talking about the time when the Romans took over Jerusalem. And it said black Jewish slaves. Letting you know that in these times it was our people, man. This is Bible history that you would never get in the churches because you feel me, they get the 501(c) and it's a certain doctrine that they have to teach, man. They can't teach you the truth, man. That's why you would never get the names. You feel me? You would never get the tribes of who you are.
Yeah, and then this was the instructions Yahweh Shah was giving to those Israelites that was in Jerusalem. He was telling, look, this is what you do when you see Jerusalem compassed about with armies. All right. And those who didn't do what Yahweh Shah said, they got caught up in the disaster. They got caught up in that desolation. Just like now, right? Jacob's trouble is going to be like 70 AD 2.0. All right, Jacob's trouble gonna be a time like no other. The Lord gave us instructions on what to do when we know that we're in Jacob's trouble. Just like Yahweh Shah gave his disciples instructions of what to do when they knew they were about to be persecuted by the Romans. And those who didn't follow those instructions got rolled on by the Romans. You know? So continuing on, it says, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Right? So,
Bible prophecy, man. The things that were written for our learning. It was written before it happened, and that's how you know it's prophecy, man. It was prophesied when Jeremiah told you, man, that y'all was gonna go into captivity, and y'all went into captivity. Isaiah prophesied about the captivity. All the prophets prophesied about the things that would happen before they happened, man.
I got another precept real quick. This is Revelation chapter 12. And bear with me about Shah. Just read another page, bro. Revelation 12 and um you know that scripture where it says the earth opened her mouth in Revelation 12. So it's like a big chunk taken out of my of his rep. I think it's verse 13, maybe. Like Revelation 12 and 13, I think. Oh, 16. Yeah, start at 15.
This Revelation 12 and 15. And the serpent cast out of its mouth water as a flood after the woman.
Right, and that serpent is Esau Edom during the time of the pagan Roman Empire when he persecuted the Israelites, man. Okay, and basically tried to eradicate us as eradicate those three tribes, mainly those three tribes. Try to commit genocide on those three tribes. That Southern Kingdom will be no more.
And that's what that flood represent the troops.
Mm-hmm.
It says that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Right. And that woman is speaking about Israel, that he may cause her to be carried away by the flood, meaning to be consumed. Because that's what Esau always wanted to do. He wanted to consume Israel as a people that he could rule forever. All right. And sorry, go ahead.
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
And that was the Lord basically scattering us. Basically, what we just read in Luke 21 and 21, how the Lord instructed us to flee. Okay, flee out of Judea. Go here, go there, go to the mountains, man.
Hey, and if I can say, that was a mastermind idea of the Most High scattered us around the face of the earth and in our seed, and now we look like the heathen nations of other nations. Otherwise, Esau would be able to just point blank be able to get rid of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He would know, all of them looking like, well, guess what, you devil, you can't do that now because now we look like every nation under the heaven.
Exactly. We've been scattered everywhere. That's the diaspora effect, man. All right. So even now, when Esau come down with his great wrath during the time of Jacob's trouble, he's still not going to be able to consume Jacob, just like he wasn't able to consume Jacob during the pagan Roman Empire. Because you, like the elder brother just said, you can't pinpoint every J. You got Israelites that look like Moabites. You got Israelites that look like Edomites. But guess what? They still gonna get delivered because some Israelites do look like Edomites, but they have faith in Yahweh Shah, and it's gonna get them saved. Their faith in the works is gonna get them saved, man. All right, but going back to this Luke 21, and I'm gonna go to verse 23. It says, "But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days."
Because there was a lot of bloodshed, man, and there wasn't nobody there to defend the woman that was pregnant with child. So they had to fend for themselves because the man was getting put to death and, you feel me, taking flight too. Because you did have some Israelites that didn't flee and they stayed, and guess what happened? They got taken into captivity and they got destroyed, man.
Right. The children's got either died from starvation, all right, or they either died from disease, pestilence, or they got perished by the sword. And if Jeremiah, what's that, 10:7, says that this is going to be a time like no other, that means Jacob's trouble going to be worse than 70 AD.
30.
Yes, like it. Jeremiah 30:7 says it's going to be a time like no other. This time going to be worse than 70 AD. But guess what? This time the Lord is going to protect our children. The men who believe in him, in sincerity and in truth, he's going to protect brothers' children and their families. And they're not going to have to go through the things that we had to go through in 70 AD because the Lord promised us protection in a hedge, in a refuge, a place of refuge. All right. So it says, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. Right? So in 70 AD, the Lord basically used Esau to roll on Jake. All right. And the only defense we had for us not to be consumed was the Lord scattering us, man. But this time, what the Lord is going to do, he's going to give us the spiritual power to rise up and to actually defend ourselves against this devil. Because if I can, real quick, grab this scripture, this devil gonna come in like a flood again, just like he came in with a flood in 70 AD. Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 59. So all right, Isaiah 59 and verse 19. It says, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun." So this is speaking about the men, women, the people, the Israelite people, mainly the men who fear the Lord. Okay.
All over the world.
All over the world.
From the west to the east, because we know that the sun rises in the east, and that's what we're from. We from the eastern part, but now we over in the west.
It says, when an enemy shall come in like a flood, so that lets us know that the Lord is going to rise up Esau again for him to come down on Jacob like a flood. And when a flood rushes through a town, everything gets consumed and pushed over and knocked down by those waters. So that's how this devil is coming. He coming with troops. He already sending National Guards to Washington, D.C., Chicago, these different inner cities where Jake dwell at. So it's all leading up to these scriptures and prophecies. All right, it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And that standard that's going to be lifted up against him via Esau, Edom, and his troops and his army is going to be that way to escape, the way to escape that judgment and that persecution that Esau is coming with. The Lord is going to give us divine intervention for us to be able to rise up with powers, to subdue our enemies, to escape being in captivity, to escape being consumed. All right, opposed to 70 AD where we had to flee. We just had to get up out of there, man. Which eventually led to us coming to the Americas, being in captivity here in America. All right. But guess what? The Lord gonna deliver us from America and set us back in our land. So all of this, even with 70 AD happening, it happened for a greater cause. It happened so that we could be here, so the Lord could, so we serve our punishment here, wake up in the land of our captivity, and then get delivered out of this place, man. You want me to continue? All right, going back to
24.
all right. Oh, and Luke. It's back in Luke 21.
We'll hit 24 and close out.
All right. Luke 21, verse 23. It's like verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Read that one more time.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. You got
Israelites in all nations again. Because we always been scattered into all nations, but this time, guess where all the tribes at? You got all the tribes over here in the west, but you also have a scattered everywhere else too. Like you got niggas and spicks everywhere across the world.
Yeah.
But especially here in America, you got all the tribes here. You don't got all the tribes in China, but you got some tribes there. You don't got all the tribes in Italy, but you got some tribes there. So all the tribes are over in the west.
It says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Of the who?
The Gentiles.
Those are the actual Gentiles. So that's letting you know that we're not in our homeland. So those ish people, those small hats, are just bastards, man. They fix their feelings.
It says, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
And the times of the Gentiles has been fulfilled now, because we know Esau, Edom is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
Right, all these other heathen nations, they got a certain rulership and position on the earth, but Jake don't. You know, Northern Kingdom don't, Southern Kingdom don't. You Israelites, you tribes, y'all don't have no type of say-so or positioning on this earth, man. The only positioning y'all have is to be ruled over by these other nations until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And what does that mean? Until their time of rulership is up and the Lord come back and basically subdue their ass, man. And that's what we waiting on. Like I was saying earlier, we waiting on Yahushua to deliver us out this captivity, put our enemies in subjection so we can rule for eternity. You know, and the second covenant be fulfilled.
Just be fulfilled. That was it.
Yeah, that was it. Unless you want me to read
verse
25.
No, that was it. So the point is made, for real. That was just something quick through the spirit to get the blood boiling. word. We're not gonna bring these same precepts out at camp to get it started. But with that, we're gonna give our praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Masakadash.
double honors to the elders again, / elder bishops. Peace, love, and blessings to the Lord's elect. Shalom, and Abad, all.
Wafla Babal.